Hi Cancer, welcome to your mid-July and right up until the start of August tarot and astrology scope. You'll notice that I have a little stack for you. I'm going to be doing this for the mid-monthlies instead of just drawing cards and shuffling on screen because I thought I could get more into this rather than the time it takes to shuffle and interpret. So these are all the cards that have popped out for you when I was pre-shuffling, and one of the things that was very clear, Cancer, from your cards is the element of timing. And I know that sounds kind of unusual, but I feel like if you have had some kind of bad luck in terms of timing, that is about to change. Serendipity was one of the first cards that came out for you, and so was the Divine Masculine. So when we talk about the Divine Masculine, we talk about being protective, being nurturing, being honest, being direct, being action-oriented, leading, really strong masculine energies. And this is not gender specific, but it could be that there is a male in your life who embodies these qualities. Could be a Leo, but sign-wise, it doesn't really matter with these two. It just is a sign, Cancer, that for a lot of you, there may actually be some relationship in your life that has or will benefit from someone leveling up. And I don't necessarily mean that in the, somebody's changed and they're coming back to be a better person. I don't necessarily mean that. For some people, that could for sure be something. And I think for a lot of you, it could be to do with somebody in your life who has really matured. But that's only for, take that as you find it. Really what this is, Cancer, is that there is something wonderful at play in your life in terms of timing. And I will explain why with the cards. So for the first set of cards, first card that actually popped out was the King of Cups. Now this is your energy. This is you in your most powerful nature. And this is why I feel that your season, Cancer, is actually really helping you become the best version of yourself, especially those of you that are male, but you don't have to be. It's just that you're embodying much more of a boss energy, a security, a comfort in yourself. You're well respected, you're compassionate, and you're operating out of your highest self, being very nurturing, being very protective. And I feel for a lot of you, there is some element of timing in terms of future plans that you've really wanted to take off. So what I mean by that is with the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands, you're making long-term plans for abundance. And you do have to be patient for these plans, but things are starting to work out in some way, particularly, Cancer, with public recognition. So why is that? Why is that? Well, Mars is in Aries, and it will be in Aries for the rest of the year, and you will be able to put lots of divine masculine energy into your endeavors. You're going to be a lot stronger. You're going to be a lot more successful. You're going to really want to push yourself. You're really going to want to achieve things. And I see you achieving things because the next two cards were the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, and Justice. There is a lot of things that you need to balance, though. I feel that for the rest of the month, it's going to be really quite busy. I think there's going to be a real strong flow of financial opportunities, new business, promising business ventures, new documents. There's a strong onus on documents. So whether you're signing a contract, getting some kind of deal, some sort of legal contract, but I see you making some really good business decisions. And the reason I see that is because the cards are very indicative of you being a boss, whether it's in, whether you're in self-employed or not. I see you making some really good business decisions and some really good plans for the future and actually getting really smart about money. I think for a lot of you, maybe you have gone down a rabbit hole of looking into abundance. Maybe you're reading You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero or something like that. Just a book. I feel like a lot of you are maybe reading a book that really opens your mind in terms of money, in terms of abundance, in terms of business. I think a lot of you are researching it because your plans for the future are becoming really, really set in stone, Cancer. And I feel like you're operating from a really strong place. Whether it's business, whether it's career, whatever it is, I feel like you really want to lay some steady foundations and make some moves, and you're blessed to do so. The reason I say that is because with serendipity and justice, divine timing is at play here. Now, as we talked about somebody leveling up, I want to talk about that too. So the cards that we got in the other deck were the Six of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. So there is a long-standing dream or relationship that has taken a lot of work, and it's been quite slow to grow, or there's been some false starts, or there has been some kind of setbacks where you really felt like giving up. And this may even be to do with business. But I think for a lot of you, this stems back to a past relationship that has affected you more than you know. It could have been, the signs that are popping up are Aries, Leo, and Pisces. I think that a lot of you are in very significant relationships with them. Leo is represented here quite a bit. But I feel like there is some kind of dream from childhood or some kind of aspiration from childhood, something that you really wanted for yourself that you've recently thought about giving up on, or you have been struggling with a child, or you've been struggling with maybe even for some of you this kind of looks like homeschooling to me. So maybe a lot of you have really been feeling the pressure there actually in terms of children, for those of you that are at home with kids due to the circumstances or whatnot. But I see a lot of stuff turning around for you, and you really getting more to grips with the practical stuff, but also things starting to balance out. So another thing that I've got here was the Emperor, the Sun, and the High Priestess. So for a lot of you, I think you could be going into business with a spouse. I feel like a lot of you are picking up more, there's maybe been a lot of challenging responsibilities with family. There's maybe been a lot of tricky energies in terms of looking after kids or working with kids, or there has been some kind of, I feel like there is a need, and this is maybe for you, or maybe this is someone in your life, for a male energy to step up in some way, shape or form. And this could be you, but I think Cancer, a lot of the stuff that's going on here in terms of business is that it's almost as if you went into a new venture and things got halted. Things got moved around. You had to make future plans. You really wanted a particular level of success. I feel like things are going better for you now. The eclipses in your signs have really shifted a lot of things. Maybe they've made some key changes in your relationships, but also you are not the same anymore. And I think for a lot of you, that's a good thing. I think a lot of you are really stepping into very powerful energy. Perhaps some of you are going into self-employment, having never done it before. But I think a lot of you are making some really good decisions. And I also think for a lot of you, there is going to be good news surrounding kids. That's just one thing that's popping up as well. Good news surrounding kids. Particularly before October. I think maybe there's something really nice coming in for you surrounding your own children. Maybe they're... Maybe if they're grown, they're getting married, or maybe they're meeting somebody that's really significant and you're getting to go to that, or maybe they are going into business with you, or some kind of happy news surrounding kids just keeps popping up for you. So maybe somebody in your family is having a child. I'm not really sure. However, the energies for you, as I keep saying, are quite like Aries, which is interesting. Very business oriented, very career oriented. Really some good stuff coming for you in the future. The caveat though, Cancer, is that you have to let something go. I think for a lot of you, you're holding on to a pain from the past. Now, what's very strange is that with the bat, he follows his instincts really. Bats fly in the dark. And with the High Priestess and the Bat card, I feel like no matter how dark it can seem at times, because that's the way eclipses kind of work, they eclipse out the light, I feel like the sun is coming out and you are going to get a lot of clarity, but you still need to follow your intuition. There's a need here not to rush with the cheetah. There's a need here not to rush into things, not to try and force things. With Mars and Aries in terms of career, you're really going to want to make things move quickly and you might lose a lot of patience. There's a warning here not to do that. It's a warning here to just stay connected, stay calm, stay grounded, stay very much focused on your personal power and what you want to achieve, because your divine masculine energy is coming out. I think for a lot of you, you're going to be, by the end of July, particularly impressed with yourself, and rightly so. I think a lot of you are going to be signing a contract. Actually, the Ace of Earth and Justice, for some of you, you could be getting engaged. For some of you, you could be making a relationship much more official. You could be dealing with legal proceedings or somebody in the legal field. I think for a lot of you, there is a strong sense of committing to something and laying down roots for the future. So whatever this is, Cancer, it looks really very promising. There is a need, though, not to give up on what has been challenging you so much. And I think for a lot of you, it's been learning, or it's been laying new foundations or restructuring plans that were set back in some way. There's a strong sense that a lot of the stuff that's happened to you, Cancer, really has been for a greater reason. With justice and serendipity, I can't help but feel like something had to work out a certain way so that you could change, so that you could embody this divine masculine energy of strength and power, and really be the best version of yourself so that everything else could fall into place. I think you need to trust in the timing, because it's starting to prove to you by the end of July that it was all meant to work out a certain way, okay? By Leo season, I feel like you feel very strong and very, very in touch with yourself again, especially if you haven't been feeling that way for a while, or some painful stuff from the past has come up. You've figured something out. It's almost like you've had a click moment where things start to make sense, and you're really willing to go forward and leave that energy behind. For some of you, something in your life is coming back around that you missed before, and you get a second shot at it, and it's very serendipitous, and you will know. You'll have a gut feeling that it's meant to work out that way. So I hope you have a wonderful remainder of July, Cancer. Happy birthday to all of you that are still having birthdays, and I will see you soon. Bye.